Mathew Stevens to break.
He'll be looking for a good safety here and a good length with that cue ball. It's pretty good, but he has left a chance, this red, to the left corner. And he may be able to drop it in dead weight and finish on the black. Oh, good shot, and nailed the cue ball perfectly. I sometimes wonder nowadays whether the break-off shot isn't a poison chalice. And this is fine line at this level. You know, that was a good break-off really from Mathew, but one good pot. And there's nothing he can do now, just got to sit in his seat and look on.
9.
As I say, it was pretty good. I suppose Ronnie O'Sullivan always says you've got to get a foot this side of the baulk line to find the baulk behind the yellow or green. Of course, he got near the baulk line, it slides, and it does leave a pot on.
16.
Nicely controlled pot as well by John Higgins. Also an element of safety in that, had he missed it.
17.
Heads are not tightly packed, but it would be very easy to come unstuck here. Nice stun into them, perhaps. Nudging a ball out at a time at the moment. That was nicely done.
Yes, it was, and
24.
in this, he may be able to nudge a few more open.
25.
That's the fourth. This is the fourth black coming up.
Of course, every player has his own way of going about disturbing reds and
32.
Opening up the pack. Some like to career into. John Higgins in this instance has so far just nudged a few out. Very difficult thing to teach. Every pack of reds has its own signature.
33.
Obviously, if you don't go into them hard, like John did with that last black, at some stage you've got to disturb them again. So I do think the modern day way of the first chance you get, smash them all
38.
across the table, has got merit.
39.
And now the opportunity he's been waiting for. Pot boot, cannon the pink, thumb in the face. Just didn't catch the pink thumb enough. And it's not perfect, that. A little bit of a disappointed look
44.
as John walked around the table. Not happy with that one. Tough shot coming up now. And he knows that Mathew Stevens is there ready and waiting should he make a mistake.
Yes, and after messing up the break in the last frame, perhaps even a bit more pressure on this.
John Higgins, 44.
Well, he's got away with it. Has he? Can Mathew Stevens cut the red in? Very thin cut, and he may be hampered by the red. It looks like a safety shot.
Yeah, once he missed it, could quite easily. Well, can he cut this red in? Can he get past the black and cut this red? It looks a thin one.
I think the problem is he has to put well, right-hand side on, which makes the pot a bit harder, really.
Yeah,
For me,
could,
anyway.
Could square the red up. In the end, it's against it.
Good safety, though.
Excellent. Just need to run off for action. And that's pretty good.
I think John's got an escape route. Second red in, yes.
Well, I don't think he's got the snooker. He can just get through to the edge of this red to get the cue ball back to baulk. Needs to be careful he doesn't knock a red over the right corner here. Now he's played it well, and if it misses the brown, that's an excellent shot. Just could have done with it running tight to the baulk cushion.
About the best he could do with that. So no real pressure on Mathew Stevens. He's got a chance to play a good safety.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, Steve, whether he'll think about the pot here.
Does it go? Yeah, it may.
The only problem is with this type of shot, because it's sort of just slightly more than half ball, if you miss it, the red could go back up the table with the white. I did play the pot. It's not a bad cue ball. Well, that's an excellent shot. That was so difficult. Hampered as he was, could not have played it any better.
Well, the safety shot goes astray from Mathew Stevens, but has he done any damage? On first glance, no, until you see what John Higgins is lining up. I'd say this is no worse than 75-25. He gets it. Even perhaps more of a certainty he gets it. He'll be very disappointed with the positional side of that, especially if he considered it was nailed on as a pot. But he has got the yellow into the middle and may be able to get back up the table.
Yes, he just needs any sort of angle on this yellow, and he's just about got one. Forced the angle more than anything. That was a good accurate pot. But once again, you know, we talk about heavy contact, but when you hit the ball at that pace, the cue ball's going to leave the better table, and so is the object ball, and he's just a bit close to the cushion for comfort here.
Yes, this is very missable. He's got choices of reds. One into the middle, one into the corner. Middle pocket's more open, that's why he's playing it.
Four.
He's on the black. He'll take it if he can get position.
Yeah, got the perfect gap. Yes, and he could control the cue ball. Frame at his mercy now.
11.
55 ahead, 83 remaining, but not for long.
12.
And a bit fortunate when he missed that red earlier in the frame that he didn't leave Mathew Stevens a nice opening one. Otherwise we could have been looking at 3-all.
Yeah, and that's usually
70.
when you miss when you're in. As Higgins did in the last frame when he missed the pink, he left an easy opener,
8.
and of course Mathew Stevens won the frame. But on this occasion, it runs safe, and it's all about those little run of the ball.
Well, you are more likely to leave your opponent amongst the balls if you miss a colour when you're playing for a red. If you're playing for you play for the colour, you may not be on another red, but small point really. If you miss, you miss. You don't know where the balls are going.
25.
Yeah, very small point. Now trying to disturb this, and he hasn't developed anything, so I don't think the break.
30.
Well, unless he cuts this red back in. Frame one truly over now, of course. 74 point in front, just 59 left.
John
I'm sure
Higgins
Mathew will concede, which he does. So John Higgins opens up 2-frame advantage once again. 4-2. And when we was in a situation earlier on, and Mathew Stevens, Steve and I were to play a big swerve here. Now just watch it, you're striking down, but you can't hit it too hard. But just watch, when you strike down, how the ball leaves the bed of the table, and then of course that right-hand side, that spin, and this is how I don't know who this guy is playing these shots, but he's certainly getting some action. But look at the ball now, spinning, spinning, spinning. And as I say, the slower you hit it, the more chance you're giving that grip to take effect.
Ken Doherty's just said that's exactly what I did at the interval when demonstrating.
Easy to do, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know.
absolutely. In the grand scheme of this match, we're really getting towards the nitty-gritty now. What's separating the two men at this point?
Well, the frame before Mathew made a fantastic break to make it 3-2 and showed great character to play a couple of difficult shots. John missed a tricky red along the cushion and was very fortunate to get away with it, because I think if he'd left Mathew another chance, he would have taken it again. It would have been 3-3.
Okay, your perspective?
Yeah, I think just John is probably he's more consistent particularly in the balls and with his safety. You know, his all-round game comes into play, particularly in matches like this when it gets a little bit tight and nitty-gritty, as you say. That John is just a little bit more consistent than Mathew. You know, but Mathew, you know, has flashes of brilliance, and when he gets a chance like he did in the previous frame, he took it. You know, but John is just, when it comes down, he just plays really very clever shots. Puts Mathew, he's always looking to put Mathew in a difficult situation, not the straightforward safety shot, the up and down, but he's always trying to put him in situations where it's difficult for him to make a good return. And when he pounces, he'll get his 30 or 40. If he misses or if he plays good safety, he keeps the pressure on all the time.
Well,
you know?
I think the stats actually bear that point